Okay, welcome to today's Falls Prevention Month talk. Today we have a treat. We have Alison Novak, who's a scientist here at Toronto Rehab. Yes, a treat. She's going to be talking to us about falls prevention and stairs and how stair design can prevent falls if we build them right. Alison.
Hello. Hi. Welcome. So thanks for letting me speak a little bit about our research here that we're doing downstairs in Seal about stair design and falls. I move this, right? All right. This is one of the slides that you see all the time, costs of falls, what it means to fall. It's a big deal. So I don't need to go over the stats, but it costs a lot of money for every time a person falls, and a lot of people fall. When we look at actually breaking down the causes of unintentional falls, this isn't very clear. I apologize. Maybe I can put a clear image up for after when we post it. But what you can see is they sort of specify the areas. So if you fall from out of a building, off a ladder, and it sort of progresses to the major causes of falls, stairs is actually the leading cause of injury-related hospitalizations due to unintentional falls. Next to this last category is other. So I don't know what that means. They just couldn't code it, or perhaps there was multiple causes. But stairs are the top. So we really do need to address falls on stairs. This was a study that was done, Nancy Edwards, who is a scientist and a nurse out at the University of Ottawa. She did a study looking at what are the major priority hazards that older adults identify when they talk about their stairs in their home. And so you can see no contrast marking. This is the biggest one. People can't see the step edges, and that's what they identify as a big hazard. Treads less than 11 inches. So this is the length of your step being too short. That's a big priority hazard. Non-uniform risers. So that's if the steps aren't all consistent as you go down. Risers greater than 7 inches, so that's the height of the step is your riser. So if it's greater than 7 inches, it presents as a priority hazard. And then we have some other ones that were identified. Open risers, that's if you can see through your staircase. This is all to do with architectural design. No handrails is also on there, although it's illegal not to have a handrail, so there should be handrails. So when we talk about step dimensions and stairs, this is a big area of focus that we did at Toronto Rehab in our labs downstairs. And this was a study that was done in the UK, actually. What they did was they sent out surveys. They mailed surveys, 10,000 of them, to individual homes, and they asked them to measure the size of their step and then let them know if a fall had occurred on those stairs. So you can see as they didn't get 10,000 responses, but they got about 2,000 responses. So you can see that as you increase the length of the step, there is a reduction in the risk of falls. So the number of people that fell on stairs, as you increase the length of the step, the number of people that fell on them reduced. So this is what we're talking about, the length of the step here, the run length. Okay, so this is where Canadian homes, this is the length of the step that was permitted in Canadian homes. And then this is where we want the length of the step to be. These slides, courtesy of Tilak. But this is where we were trying to get the length of the step to be, because you can see there's this nice reduction in the number of falls that happen. You can reduce falls by a factor of 3. That's huge. So people recognize that this is a problem. They do it themselves. They build their own staircase that's safer. So there's longer stairs and there's shorter risers to accommodate this terrible staircase that's underneath. Probably not feasible for a lot of people to do, and we don't want everyone to have to retrofit their home this way. I don't know if people really like this aesthetically, but it's an option. You can do it yourself. The other option, and what we work towards with our research, is trying to change our building code. So the National Building Code of Canada permits stairs to be too short, and we wanted to change them to be longer. So then it's in the builder's hands. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And we did some biomechanical data analysis as people walked up and down stairs to look at their stability. And you can see, you don't have to understand the graph, but basically you can see that from 8 inches to 14 inches, this is a terrible graph, I'm sorry, but from 8 inches to 14 inches, you can see sort of a linear decrease in the safety, a linear decrease in the risk of falling. So this is a risk. And this is with riser height. So as you go from 7 to 7.5 to 8-inch risers, so if you increase the risers, then you increase the risk. Okay, I'm going to show you a video. How do I play this? Sorry, not touch screening. So used to touch screens. I can't play it. What's wrong with me? I'm going to go to like the keyboard. So this video is put together by some people here at Toronto Rehab, just summarizing what's some of our research.
But the research itself isn't enough. Usually we have to get involved in the problem and make sure that the results of our research are applied. One of the areas that we're particularly interested in is the prevention of accidents. Prevention of falls actually is a big deal. Elderly people fall over. Well, we all fall over. Elderly people fall over more often, but the consequences are much more significant. And by far the most dangerous falls are occurring on stairs. Not only do we want to do the research to find out what aspects of stairs are dangerous, it's our job to make sure that the stairs become safer.
So we ran a series of studies down here in Seattle. What we found was that as you increase the length of the step, you are reducing the risk of falling.
The minimum depth of the tread ought to be about 11 inches. In order to get it through the building code, we compromised and we made it 10. Those changes will, by their estimate, result in 13,000 fewer serious injuries in the first 5 years.
We definitely want to continue our work to move through some more changes to step geometry so that we can make the stairs safe as a minimum requirement across the board in Canada.
Okay, so that's just a video. Now how do I get out of this? I thought I was technologically savvy, but I'm not. So that's just a video showing sort of the impact of what we do down in Seal. How is our research changing lives? How are we trying to prevent falls from happening? So we work towards getting our building standards changed, and that's sort of what we do. Some other areas of stair design that are important to recognize when it comes to the risks of falls is bifocal use. So glasses with bifocals or trifocals, multifocal lens eyewear. And if you can see through this image, this is looking through someone's bifocal lens, and you can see how the step edge is distorted, and that's what your eyewear does to the step edge in a lot of cases. So understanding that this is a risk factor for falls is very important. The other big sort of easy fix on stairs to reduce your risk of falling is the contrast on the step edges. So you can see on this stairs, if you're looking down the stairs, you can see there's very little contrast on the step edge. It's very difficult to detect where the step edge is. Whereas if you added a painted line, there you go. Now you can see where your step edge is, and it's much, much safer when you're walking downstairs. And you can just see, that's what these graphs show. It's just that as you, actually these graphs, but as you increase the contrast, you are safer. Other areas that you can address stair design to be safer is just avoid visually distracting stairs. So people like to put these pretty runners on their stairs, but they are very visually distracting and they increase your risk of falls. So try to avoid that kind of design on your stairs. Installing light switches at the top and bottom of your staircase that are not low energy light bulbs, high energy, just normal light bulbs. Really quick and easy way to add some safety factors to your stair. And then what else are we doing at Toronto Rehab? Our next big stair study is looking at these beautiful architectural designs, glass stairs. Architects love designing stairs that look very appealing, but we think are very unsafe and should not be allowed to be designed. So we built our own glass staircase down in Seal, and what we'll do is test individuals as they walk up and down them and understand the risk factors of falls on these types of design, these types of stair designs. So that's our next study, and stay tuned for info on that. And my contact if you're interested in learning more.
Thanks very much, Alison. That's a great overview and some great tips on how to keep your stairs safer if you can make some small changes. Any questions from anyone that are here? Any comments? No? I have one. So the study, the Edwards study, I think it broke down what likely caused the fall on the stairs. Or which one was that one where you showed the contrast could have been the cause, or the other things? How do they know is my question.
No, so it wasn't what caused a fall. It was what do older adults perceive to be a risk on their stairs? What do they identify as hazardous? So then if we address those, and then what we do know is that those particular items, if we study them individually, we do know that they contribute to the increased risk of fall. So it's not just identification of perceptions. They actually, if we look at the biomechanics on these various types of designs, they do increase your risk of falling, so that we should be addressing them.
Thanks very much. And then to follow up on this talk, we have a couple of talks on handrails coming up in the next 2 days. So Simon Jones tomorrow is going to be talking about a tool that encourages handrail use. And then on Wednesday, Vicky Commissar is going to be talking about what is the safest design for a handrail. Because we know that if you do have a misstep on a stair, you can still prevent a fall and an injury if there's a good handrail. And so that's a lot of our building code work is based on developing better standards for handrails as well. Okay.
I saw there's a handrail only on one side. Does it make a difference? Is it safer to have them on both sides so people have, that kind of...
Definitely. That's if you want to increase safety very easily, install a second handrail. So we call them bilateral handrails. Install a second handrail on your stairs. It's not legally required to have 2 handrails. So typically a home will be built with just the 1 handrail, but for safety, 2 is certainly better.
Good point. And I think Vicky, who's in the audience now, will be talking more about that and other things you can do to make your handrail safer soon. Good. Okay. And on that note, we'll end today's broadcast. Join us again tomorrow. Thanks.